on a scale of 1 to 10, we're definitely not anywhere near 10. We're probably not even near 8. I would say that, on a risk loving stage, we're somewhere between 5, 6, 7, somewhere in that range, depending on the strategy. And while that is true at the headline level, we're also holding a lot more defensive assets than we normally would have. Or that we did, let's say, at this time a year ago, simply because we recognize that this is probably late stage dynamics. Valuations are extended. While there's obviously a tremendous amount of liquidity and expected growth to come back, the risks are elevated given current valuations. So we're exactly that. So we're not dancing to the Chemical Brothers with reckless abandon. It's much more of a slow dance to Sinatra with one hand on the brake.
Fahad, let's get into some of those defensive calls then, because one of the typical asset plays is the bond market and fixed income, and you've called out that this provides neither income nor protection given the very low yields at this stage. If it's not fulfilling the defensive properties, where else should investors go if they're somewhat concerned about these markets?
Yeah, that's, Karen. It's really one of the great conundrums of investing at this time. Decades of asset management theory is built on the fact that, well, whether you're risk on or you're risk off, and if you're risk off, there's bonds that give you some degree of return and some degree of protection. And right now they're doing neither. So what do we do? There's no clear and perfect answer to that. We have a series of assets that we're holding in order to be defensive. Gold, very low volatility, low correlation to equity hedge funds, and even outright put options in strategies where applicable. So, as I said, none of these are perfect substitutes to bonds, but we live in a world where very few things are perfect, and this is probably the best form of defense that we can get right now. And let's not forget that actually in every major drawdown going back 50, 60 years, gold has actually provided what we needed to do just when we needed it most. So we remain confident in that quality.